How do Spurs cope without James Maddison? With Maddison picking up a serious injury, Spurs are without their number 10 for at least 2 months. With Maddison being a vital player in Postecoglou's system, how do Spurs go about replacing what the Englishman brings to the side? This video will be covering why Maddison is so important to Spurs, why the midfield selection against Wolves was the wrong one, and who should play while Maddison is missing. But first, please would you hit the subscribe button if you are new. Please also hit the like button, as it really helps to get our videos seen by more people and therefore helps us grow our channel and bring more content for you guys. But without further ado, let's get into this. So, with James Maddison joining Spurs this summer, we finally have that creative midfielder we've been crying out for since the departure of Christian Eriksen. What many general football fans will have seen from Maddison when watching our highlights will have been his assists and final third chance creation, which have been absolutely excellent. That ability to fashion chances for himself and the team have been pivotal in Spurs' good start. His eye of the needle vision, ball manipulation and technique off both feet have led to him putting up very strong numbers. However, what casual fans may not have realised is just how much he gives to Spurs in the middle third in his ball progression. Postecoglou gives Maddison the freedom to drift around the pitch and often come deep to pick it up off the back four or the six, turn and play forwards. This massively helps Spurs play through the thirds and links the team together well. He's able to help in turning early build-up play into real penetrative and dangerous final third possession. He does this through his awareness, ability to play on the half turn, positional and tactical IQ about where he should pick up the ball, but then also his passing range and carrying ability. So not only are Spurs missing his clear final third abilities, but they also have lost something in ball progression. The loss against Wolves was a clear example of this. Spurs struggled to stamp their authority on the game and rarely were able to play through the thirds effectively. This comparison of our penalty area entries against Wolves compared to our win against Burnley earlier this season is incredibly damning. Of course, the opposition set up differently in both games, but we clearly struggled to get into the final third this game, as these graphics demonstrate. Ange started the game with Bissouma in the 6 and Sarr and Højbjerg in the 8s. I felt Bissouma was incredibly lax in possession and struggled to provide any real ball progression. Bissouma thrives when he's pressed and is able to wriggle out of challenges and then carry the ball forwards. However, in this game, Wolves more so cut off his passing lanes, which meant his limited passing range was evident and he struggled to break lines. However, previously at times where he struggled here, Maddison would help in progression by dropping deep and getting the ball off him, as I mentioned. Højbjerg and Sarr are nowhere near as good on the half turn and also aren't technically secure enough to demand the ball in those scenarios. Therefore, in this game we struggled to play through the thirds, especially as Bissouma wasn't offering much. We lacked that real link between the first, second and third phases. Sarr and Højbjerg are both good players in their own right, but those two partnered with Bissouma really lacks a technically intricate between the lines player. So how would I alter this midfield to try and cope going forward? I think there is a pretty obvious answer here, which many Spurs fans may not like, and that's Giovanni Lo Celso, who has struggled since his big money arrival at Spurs. However, I would argue the circumstances have never really suited Lo Celso, who is much more suited to a possession-based style where he's allowed lots of touches and to have a major role in ball progression. For me, Lo Celso isn't as comfortable in the final third as Maddison. This is due to his lack of ability to play at multiple angles. He heavily favours the left-hand side and therefore is pretty one-sided. He's capable of sliding through balls in between the opponent's right back and right centre back. However, he will struggle to receive it from the left, turn out and spread play to the right. He lacks the all-action final third play that Maddison does. He's also not as good a ball striker, so is less of a goal threat. However, what he does offer is a brilliant ability in the second phase. Lo Celso has a great first touch, which is always nice and tight to his body. He's able to withstand pressure due to his good ball manipulation and agility, so he can wriggle out of tight areas. Once out of these tight areas, he can also carry the ball well into space with his pretty good acceleration. Lo Celso also has good disguise in the midfield, where he may go to shape his body as if he's going to pass it, but then delay and then drive forward away from an opponent instead. So I don't think he offers you what Madders does in the final third, but I do think Lo Celso can certainly help us in our ball progression issues. I feel playing him over Højbjerg in the 8 will massively help. One wildcard option is also Jamie Donnelly. Donnelly would thrive more so in the other aspect of Maddison's skill set, and that's final third delivery. Donnelly is a youth prospect who has been shining in the under-21s this season. He is more than ready for senior football now and would certainly help us create chances in the final third. Donnelly is a brilliant passer of the ball. He pulls off passes other players wouldn't even see. He's very Kane-esque in how he wraps his foot around these passes and curls them right into the path of teammates. He's physically strong like Kane too, and has great ball striking. I think he'd struggle more in build-up though, as he lacks the nimbleness and intricacy of Maddison. He can also be over-direct at times, which means he can lack that technical security in those early phases which allow for sustained possession. Many have suggested Bentancur to fill Maddison's shoes, however I don't see him as a direct fit for that role. He's more of the Højbjerg, Sarr and Bissouma mould, who's better in deeper areas. He is a brilliant athlete who can arrive late in the box, however he lacks that creative element that both the previous two I mentioned do have. So, Lo Celso and Donley, they'd be my choices for the 10 role. I'd use Lo Celso more often, especially in difficult games where we may struggle to build our attacks. I'd use Donley in games where we're camped in the opposition half and we need that final third creativity to make the breakthrough. Neither of them are as complete as Maddison, but both should have a role to play to help us cope while our talisman is missing. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe for more content just like this.